Morning, morning. Okay, just wait for a minute or two and then we can get started. Everybody?
Good morning.
Good morning. Just remind, there's no 4 o'clock session on Friday afternoon. Get a couple of calling up, trying to get in, nobody there, sort of. So 4 o'clock session, we don't have one on Friday afternoon. Okay, just let Keone in. Okay, good morning. How fast get started? Let's start off with, because I watched that for you there. Perhaps you can actually I think. Yeah, you can ask you anything to do that. You can ask your account manager. Everyone should know. You should know your account manager, and if you don't, you just go to the portal, and the account manager's there. The contact details there, it's all on the portal. And you can do with that. Remember, just to clarify again, the account manager can assist with opening accounts and that sort of area, admin area, if you like. Intermediary, they call it as part of legislation. Just remember, they can't advise, not allowed to advise. They can copy and paste if they want a trade idea that comes from myself and give it to somebody else. If they have a group or whatever, I don't know what they do. We can't bloody stop them doing that, but they can't advise. So if you say, should I get out of my CAD JPY one, they can't give you, they have to pass you through to somebody who's regulated to give you that specific information. Just bear that in mind. So that's really, trade sport is not stepping on the toes of account managers. We work together, just so you know there's that difference. Okay, right, AUD and USD, and sorry, AUD UNZD, like that. See, my worry on the 15-minute hours. My worry is it sure not against it, but what's the stop loss down here? We're talking about over 60 pips to take it to there. I suppose you could get a risk reward. Yeah. Obviously, you must have taken profit. You must have modified your stop on the previous one. I'm not against it. Tell you what's worrying me a little bit, guys, it's not getting so much follow through. And I'll be honest, it might be quiet. You guys can come up with some good stuff to discuss this morning. It's number one, going to the weekend, which is not helping matters, but it's just looking through the trade today, a lot of it, actually, we're not getting the follow through. There's no good saying this is looking good as a sell or a buy, and then you look at the previous ones, it's moving 30 pips, it's popping up again. Tiny range, you can't even trade a range. And we've got a 100 pip range, not a problem. Brilliant. But tiny range as well. Maybe I missed some. We'll look just now. But it's just not going to follow through. Look at yesterday. It started to come right. It took out the round figure and went to 18 above the round figure. Then sustaining. And then it came back and it dropped below there. Not much. I take that point. Not much. But still, it's just buyers are coming into support. I get that. It's just a lack of follow through. So I do see the upside up there. I think there's a good chance we might make it. But just remember, you might be tied up a little bit. Just the market seems very slow at the moment. In other words, indecisive. You see my point? I think this maybe just L5 on that for the moment. We sometimes we scratch a trade and then it doesn't always come to the party anyway. But yeah, I think just maybe a bit of patience. Unless we can find something here. Okay, but anyway, it's in profit. That's the main thing. Brent's doing pretty well. Those who've gone into Brent doing pretty well. We've got 84. Where is it now? 84.27. It's not bad, eh? So if you haven't modified it, you can modify your stop loss now because we're about 225 or so in profit, $2.25 per barrel in profit. It's not bad. What's it today? A TP's there, so maybe we'll hit the TP hopefully today. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. 87.63. So yeah, well, there's a TP there. But anyway, if you get any noise around there, rather take it instead of trying to go shooting up there. So we might get pretty close to TP with a bit of luck. But it's popping up, but I'll give it its due as it comes off the buyers are coming back in. So maybe we'll get lucky. But there is a little bit of resistance here, so watch it. It might pull back a bit, who knows. But anyway, if anyone's still in it or taking their profit, but whatever you do, clearly modify just above your stop loss. For the sake, don't leave your stop loss way below entry. That would be a bit of a pity. Okay, so yeah, but it's a nice gap there. But it looks like it. Anyway, it's doing well. You get my point. That's a nice one. Good. On hit, yeah. SL is often good news. Hit your range. So I know it's still in there. It might be TP. Gold hit the TP today. Some guys weren't in there anymore. So bits still make a good profit. But it came off, buggered around. In fact, we could have got two because it came back in the middle of the night yesterday, I think it was, 3 hours in the morning, back to 900 and popped up again. So two for the price of one. But anyway, bottom line is it did, as it turned out, hit the TP, which is quite nice. So the Brent's doing okay. AUD, NZD is no fireworks, it's not shooting the lights out. This is a profit. 30 pips is it's not exactly buying a Bahama yacht on that, but at least it's a 30 pip profit you seem to be holding, and hopefully get a bit more movement there. As I mentioned yesterday, AUD, CHF, NZD, CHF, everyone seems to be out of that trade now. There's no point me going on about it. Everyone seems to have done okay out of it. So if you're all out, whether it's a TP or not, and you're out of it, it's completely irrelevant. It's just academic interest. But it's a bit slow. It's been popping around. But so those things were out. I was looking at a Euro CHF. I believe the trading room guys are already in it. So if they're in, hold it. We've got it at 1 on the dot, around figure 1. But I don't know if anyone missed it. But it's the follow through is limiting. That's my hassle with it. The follow through is limiting. I mean, look, it came down here. How far away is that? A couple of days ago. Look, this is 2 days. Today, Wednesday, and then so decided to bounce again. It's a bit of a tight range of about 50 odd pips, but it seems to be holding. So if you're in, clearly do not enter again. You double overexposed, and you're in 70 pips profit. So anyway, whatever. If you're in at 1, which the original Wednesday trading room idea, put it in at 1.0 or just below that is your stop, so you cover your costs, and then sit pretty and hope it comes back. But do you guys think it's a bit aggressive? Maybe look for an entry of those who are not in it now. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, my problem is the 4 hour. I knew there's a reason. The 4 hour is a little bit of a problem at 13 pips, which is peanuts, and a bit of a problem down here, which is 37. Wait for if you go in now, which again is not that much, and it seems to be holding that level. There's quite a few 4 hour drops in there. So yeah, just something to look at it. Okay. All right, we'll do that if you like. Just bearing out one trade idea. I want to give the reasons why and what to look for, so you make an informed decision, as they say. Put the stop up here, I think, stop up there, and the TPs cut it to there. 98.72. Bit of a tight risk reward, but let's be honest, guys. Even if it gets to TP, a lot of you guys modified stops will take the profit anyway. So the major thing is at least about 1.5. Anybody like this one? It is aggressive. I've been quite open on that. It's aggressive. You might get a little bit of noise the way through, but it seems to be holding that range. And the euro's okay. Oh, by the way, I never forgot. 12 o'clock, the guy speaking again. She spoke yesterday, and I think she's going to say more the same today. I thought she's in Davos or where she is. No, the WEF, World Economic Foundation. Will these billionaires get together and solve the problems of the world over caviar and champagne? You know. But bottom line is, I can't see any change coming at 12. I don't know. Of course, I don't know, but I don't think so. And most of what I'm saying is we've been discounted the price on the market. So, yeah, so mentioning it to bear that in mind. You should all have the economic calendar, be aware of that anyway. Yeah, so there we are. What do you think? Who likes it? Okay, so it's an aggressive trade, guys. If you want to do it, bear that in mind. So no tears if it doesn't come right. So make sure you got your volumes on your calculator correct. 66 bucks a micro. It's not hectic, but don't go in enormous. And if it comes right, don't shoot me because you've got half the profit you could if you'd went in enormous. See anything? Equity management's the name of the game. Are you going for it finally, anybody? Well, if it's 50-50, I wouldn't go for it. You need to think of it 65 or 60-65 or better. 50-50.
I'm in, Roger. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning. Okay. I see. I'm always thinking of your name, gas. It's still coming off the bloody thing. Hey. Right. EURCHF 09930. 9966. It's a pretty tight stop, guys. Just bear that in mind. It's an aggressive trade. And if it's in a decent profit going into the weekend, you want to go to sleep, I'm suggesting it might be worth taking instead of holding it over the weekend. Aggressive trade started off if you want to. If you're in, obviously hold. Yeah, if it's aggressive, leave alone. But a couple of guys put in some aggressive trade. I'm putting down here aggressive. So anybody who claims went over the top after all explanation, it's not my fault. You're aware of the facts. Informed, as they say. Good. Right, the other one is, again, this is very iffy. I quite like the Kiwi dollar, and the Aussie, the American dollar is looking a little bit iffy at the moment. It's not getting much follow through to the upside. So for a while now, the CHF, and I did sell the dollar against the Swiss franc. I'm thinking of selling the dollar and buying the NFT. Yeah. There you are, per micro, whatever, yeah. I think of buying that. I mean, on the day, let's get a bit more info on it. Seems to be holding there. Maybe a better price if you want it, but you got to take it up there. That's the problem. Maybe 100 pip stop. Sorry, TP. Maybe a 60 pip. A little bit. Yeah, you can squeeze maybe a 60 pip stop loss, but this is extremely aggressive. It might be an idea to try and get a better price. Maybe at 64, keep an eye on the DXY. But this is ultra aggressive. But I think there's a possibility of some upside on this one. But any doubt, stay out. I'm not going to send any of them out to any group whatsoever of those two trades because I think it's too aggressive for guys who are not understanding that whether in the trade or not in the trade. Didn't know that. What banks are closing? You mean as in closing down, going out of business? Okay, leave it alone. That's probably better. That's a different game. Just closing for the day or whatever. Yeah. No, this is the bigger reason. The dollars, mostly interest rate expectation priced in, and the recession's on its way. If you've got a second, just want to read something out to you, might be of interest. Try not to bore you a little bit. I'm just going to stop the share. Maybe have a look at it together. CNBC is the name of it. Hope you can all see it there. Just a second, let me get the chat line and that out of the way so I can see what's going on. Turn out the screen. I've just got a monitor. CNBC, just bear in mind, overall it's not bad, but remember it's very much part of the tech billionaire setup. So anything the Republicans do is wrong, anything Biden, the Democrats, bear in mind. But we're not talking about the political side here, where we're talking about the, can't scroll thing down there. Can you see it on my other screen? I've moved it so I can shift the screen down a bit. Can you see it on my other screen, guys? I've just shifted my other screen. Can you see this? It's good. All right, just shift it down a bit as we speak. The clock is, this is about, I've been going on about debt like a stat record, okay? This is more or less what I'm on about. The clock is ticking for the US to avoid a default on its debt, which is not going to happen because the economic catastrophe would be there, be like a nuclear bomb going off around the world. Okay, but anyway, pointing it out. And some are sounding the alarm about potential destructive services in Medicare. Mothers won't be able to pay it. Right. Because all debt. Sorry, this guy's in. Right. On Thursday night, the US outstanding debt hit its statutory limit. Now, what they do is they say, hit the limit and you can't borrow anymore without some cuts, or we do a government shutdown. Okay. So the debt limit or debt ceiling is the total amount of money the US can borrow to meet its legal obligations, including Social Security, Medicare, as well as military salaries, tax, refunds, interest on national debt, and other payments like enormous funding of the CIA and the FBI, which have grown into astronomical bureaucracy. Okay, incredible costs involved. I mean, acting that as if there's just spend money without any hassle. And it's borrowed money. This is the problem. They're not producing it, they're borrowing it. So in other words, they're living off credit card debts. A lot of guys doing that now. Okay, can you not see what I'm showing you? I'll try and stop the share and do it again if I can.
Thank you.
Okay. Just tell me if you can see it. I'm just quit. Can you see it now? CNBC, can you see this?
Yes, Roger, we can.
You can, great. You've heard what you're saying, clock is ticking for that. Don't want to go over all that again. I think it's important because there's not that many traders at the moment. Be a bit quiet today. It's just quite important to go over what I've been on about. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she used to be Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed at one stage. She was the previous one before Powell. Strong Democrats, just bear that in mind. The political strength is obviously going to create bias, that's why. The House Speaker's now taken over from, what's her name, Nancy Pelosi, and he's the Speaker. Now, why is he important? He's third in line for the presidential throne. Don't forget that. He's got the president, the vice president, something happens to the president, and that's why they can never travel together. The president cannot travel together in case one gets a bomb goes off or whatever. But if something happens, when the bomb goes off, now the heart attack, he would be the president. Okay, so he's the third in line. So he's important. Chuck Schumer is Democrat, he's Republican. So whatever he does, this guy here, Schumer, will disagree. Simple as that. Anyway, going back to this. And other congressional leaders with possible irreparable harm could come to the US economy, America's livelihoods, and global financial stability if the problem goes unresolved. Clearly, he's a Democrat, so he's all the social, and they just print more money. He is a Republican who's trying to get some business sense into him. Okay, I expect the US conduct upon properly to protect the full faith and credit of the United States. It's hectic, this, isn't it? Sorry about this. If it happens to us, it's not good in South Africa, but it won't have the impact worldwide. This is a different ballgame. On Thursday, the US began taking extraordinary measures to avoid defaulting its obligations. Remember, their debt is about 140% of their income, their GDP. Remember that. Hectic. Yeah, worse, much worse than South Africa, debt to GDP. Get that. The Treasury Department cannot provide an estimate of how long the government can expect to pay the government's obligations through extraordinary measures, reports the It is unlikely the cash will be exhausted before June. So looks like they've got enough to survive till June, just around the corner. Negotiate the federal debt ceiling mark, one of the worst big challenges the new Congress will face. McCarthy has agreed to tie lifting the debt ceiling to spending caps. So now when they will get that, they've got to lift the ceiling, otherwise the whole, they have to. Even though they'll hover and might shut down for a few days, again, or whatever, they all panic. But he's now trying to establish these spending caps. Well, the social programs they're used to now in the West, they have it in Europe and the UK and America now and Japan, they're used to it now. Something for nothing sort of thing. They take it for granted, and they'll have to be cut. Some of them have to be cut, so they're panicking on that. Plus, most of those guys, Social Security, are mostly Democrat voters. So the Democrats will pick up by that because they care about them, they'll lose their votes, probably more the point. But just bear that in mind. We're looking at, as I was doing, for a train wreck on this issue. Okay, consequences are dire because the default will not only disrupt Social Security and Medicare benefits, but also those globally. With all due respect, we live here, not there. So Medicare, Social Security is not our problem. Shame on them, etc. But a lot of other bigger problems go around the world for us to worry about than those guys not in getting paid. Those guys out there in terrible times. So it's not really what it's about. It's there, but not here. Global economic recession is graduating toward it. Remember that. How bad it could be delayed. If the US were to default on its debt, it would be unprecedented. Unprecedented understatement. The big question is whether the Treasury Department will be able to prioritize what does and not get paid. That's the big thing, and they'll scream. Everyone's subjected to their own wants, clearly, and some's got to do without. And then they'll kick up if it's a Democrat vote and they vote for a Republican voter. Unfortunately, that's how selfishly where it is, as we are, I suppose, as humans. Where Social Security and Medicare benefits can be flowed over, there's a good chance benefits retirees and people with disabilities and survival will be disrupted. Even a short delay can interfere with better ability to pay for healthcare, food, rent. See, they're used to all these freebies we don't get here. So not a lot of sympathy, but still, they're used to it. They're taken for granted. You know what I mean? So it's part of their system. Treasury Department may be able to prioritize some payments, and that would include Social Security. It's the guys who haven't worked in their lives, unemployable, will still get paid. However, the Social Security Administration may be, when I say unemployed, it's not like here. There's more job vacancies than there are people job seeking. Nice place to be, but they're unemployable, so they can't get jobs. They're looked after by the state. Payments insurance, enough cash on hand. Meanwhile, so we'll leave that alone. It's not much interest. Yeah, another one, the thing of saying putting retirement older instead of 65. Okay, looking at that. Not retirement, they've got private pension funds. That doesn't matter. I'm talking about guys who live off other people's money, basically. Right, like bureaucrats, basically. As President of declared, Congress must deal with the debt limit. Well, that's stating the obvious there. I can't see any more of relevance. Keep on about Social Security. Okay, I'm just going to knock the share off there so we can understand that better. Just knock that off now. Right, just share the screen again. Just saw that article. I read through a few news articles in the morning to see if any interest to come up to share. And a lot of it not, some of it's fairly obvious and none of it really pertinent to really affect you at this stage of the game. But I thought that would be of interest because I have been going on about it. It's a bit of a backup there. So as I was saying, sell the rally, be careful. The dollar's strength has only come because it's particular interest rate increase, but you get to the stage where that starts running out when on a weaker economy. They've been putting off this recession talk, and I'm saying no, your recession face up to it. So be very careful of longs on indices at the moment. I've been talking about this for a while. Sell the rally. You're going to get jumps. I'm looking at this. Let's move on. Go back to the Nasdaq. This is the latest thing, yeah. Jump around a bit, but as you see, as it goes up, the sellers come in. The same sort of principle. So I think down the line, they're getting sorted out, which I think they will. You might go back to a bull market and get some bargain hunting. But at the moment, I don't think we've seen the bottom. So be careful of longs. Hey, Marius, be careful of longs. You know what I mean by that. You came right otherwise. Well done. Be careful of longs, these indices. If you'd rather wait for a bounce to sell it down rather than engaging the long of the bounce, because we don't know the extension of that bounce and it might be fairly shallow and you can get caught with your pants down. And keep an eye on the economic calendar as well. 9 o'clock, something came out in the pound, forget what it was now, retail cycle, whatever it was. It didn't have much reaction, slightly less than expected, had a bit of pullback, jumped up, so that's discounted in. Okay, so bottom line, bear that in mind. The most powerful economy on the planet is in a heap of bloody trouble, and that affects all of us. Okay. No, we haven't yet. I've just been going through article I read in NCBC, which I don't subscribe to it, so don't think it's necessary. Most of the stuff I get anyway. But that was not a bad article, which it was a free article. But I just read out to the guys in the meantime, just to reinforce this problem we're having, where the debt ceiling has been reached. They've got some cash till June, so they've got to start saying, give us more debt or we've got to collapse, which they'll get, as I say, but it's just getting spiraling out of hand. You know what I mean? So this, printing money and spending on a social basis without having sort of any form of economic income, it's not working. And remember, you've got so many people there who don't understand the basic economics and quite frankly, very low income, often on grants and disability and social grants, welfare and this sort of thing. They don't know. All they know is from their own want principle, they need some bucks and it's coming from borrowed government money, and it's causing an issue. Plus all the government services, which are horrendously expensive. Military being one of them. Okay, horrendous. I mean, it's over $2 billion an aircraft carrier, to get an idea. Never mind the cost of the salaries and all the rest of it, and the running of it. You get the idea. And same thing with nuclear sub. Okay, so there, just bear that in mind. Hope that was of interest and to inform you on that basis. Okay, as for the FTSE, Solar Rally, I didn't write it down. Don't think anyone went for it. If you went for it, we'll have a look. I don't know if your profit didn't write it down. I was looking for a sell on it. I can't remember what figure. 7.8 seems to be holding. The stock was about here for those who wanted it, so you'd still definitely be in it still. I think it's hovering around. Maybe get a bit of a pullback later on. Who knows? A bit sideways. The whole market's a bit sideways at the moment. Okay, so well, I've just in a nutshell, Marie, it's about the debt problem the states have got. So it's nothing particularly new, but it's a negative on the debt problem. But nothing new. I'm just to reinforce you what I've been saying and you've been aware of. I've been continue saying in the trading room, so you're aware of it. Yeah, I did notice, Marius. Well, buddy, done. Because I say, I think you're on here when I mentioned rather not go long. I mentioned that again. So be careful. Rather not try and grab the bounce, rather see what the bounce is like at Solar Rally at this stage of the game, unless some very different news comes out. But we haven't got that at the moment. In fact, exactly the opposite. Okay, so putting that back to the dollar, a little bit of dollar strength come in. They're looking at just above 5% the overall target on interest rate because the inflation there is not under control. Well, it's not control, it's sort of control, but it's not actually floating as much as they like, and power is quite straight on that. So it could be some 5% sorry, 0.5 instead of 0.25 coming forward. But it didn't really attract much strength. It jumped above 102 on the index, but it didn't soar to 103 on that or anything like that. So the overall feeling is you get the odd bounce in the index, but could have been a pullback. I can't say for sure. Always nothing I can say for sure. Nothing's guaranteed. But I think it's probably a hold of below at this stage. Unless some radical fundamental news comes through, I think it's going to probably hold around about 103 to any bounce. And we could see 100 being attacked on the DXY. 102 last I looked. I'll put it on now the screen. Give me a second. Yeah, it's 102, get this thing out of the way. 102.10. So yeah, I think 103 will hold, and I think it could sort of glide down the line, down the time. How long, I don't know. So maybe 100. Yeah. So we'll see what happens on that basis. But I think there could be a little bit of a jump short term of the dollar, but it might be short-lived. Okay. No, America is so powerful, they'll follow it. If the American gets a sneeze, the rest of the world gets a cold. Remember that old statement, Errol? America, USA gets a sneeze, the rest of the world catches a cold. If they have a problem, the FTSE will follow it. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. We're more dependent, we like to admit, what happens over there. It'd be a catastrophe of note. That's why I said they will, they have to, but they'll have some huff and puff in the meantime. And like when the World Fund comes in, you know, when the IMF, International Monetary Fund, comes in, like they did with Greece, they'll start to impose stricter and stricter laws. In other words, you're always spending the money I'm lending you, Gerard. You're my son, by the way. Always spending it. Last time I lending you, but this time I'm going to increase the interest, extreme restrictions on it. You can't buy any more marijuana or booze on it. Borrow my car anymore. Naughty boy, Gerard. But you know what I mean. I'm making a bit of a banter joke of it. But that's the sort of thing. They bring in very strict limitations, and it makes a bit of a nightmare of the country involved to get them out of it. Okay. Yeah, make you feel young, my prodigal son, eh, Gerard? Make you feel nice and young there, eh? Okay, all funny games, right? So yeah, Solar Rally. Indices follow the American. Problem there, we have a problem elsewhere. So yeah, hope that's all clear. I've mentioned the AUD, NZD, and the Brent trade. Let's have a quick look back at it. Still going up nicely. Brent, you've all modified your stop. Some might still be in it, I don't know. Looks like it could get to TP, a successful trade, whatever. So you're not going to be losing on it. AUD, NZD, it's trying to go back above 108. It's most of it today, like I mentioned just now, Anna Marie, is pretty sideways, pretty shallow trading, but at least it's grinding a little bit down and then trying to move up again. The buyers are coming as it falls back. Still in a profit there. It's just not much fireworks. So be it. I can't control the market clearly. Something else I think is a possibility. We get a decent price. Is this one here? But I want a better price, or maybe a breakthrough. Keep an eye on that one. CAD JPY. Sorry about that. You got stopped out if you took it. I was clearly against it. Some guys I think did take it, then he was stopped out. It did bounce. I'm leaving that alone for the time being. US dollar. A couple of guys thought, what about a buy on that? Japanese is a little bit on the strongest side at the moment. So I thought that's why I look at NZD USD as a buy. A little bit of dollar weakness coming in. So I'm not sure I want to buy the dollar at the moment on this, even a weaker currency. And if I did, I would prefer near the 128 mark to go in. So I would leave that. And I think it's been backed up by some shorter term movements. Yeah, as it pops up, it's coming off. So leave that alone as well. Gold I wouldn't be chasing now. The trouble is what happened with gold. EBP shorts do that first. Wow. Oh, look at that for range, 400 pips. Yo. It's come back and tested the support area there for a sell or resistance. You want to buy it. We talked about a sell here. Pokes head up, came off. But you see, how long have you been doing this, Gerard? Not that long, guys. It's not been doing that long. And you start to pick the stuff. See, you can pick up benefits, you guys, in the trading. You can pick up benefits without to study for years. Okay. So far, I quite like it, actually. 4 hour, any problems? A little bit of problems around this. Only, what, 60 pips? If it does give you a problem, you'd be happy to bank 60 pips, hey? And even more down there. Not bad, actually. Let's try the 1 hour. Not telling you much there. Oh, yeah, it is. Look, as it pops up, sellers are coming in. 15-minute pops up, sellers are coming in. A little bit of resistance for the short term there, as you can see. Just the 4 hour again. Daily. Where can you put the stop? Have to be fairly tight. So you think be above the round 160 mark, maybe a little bit wider than that. That's a bit too wide. It's a bit too wide. About 160.30, where can we take it down to? That's far too far. Oh, lucky up. You see, you got to check the distance. That looks like about 30 pips. Look at that, 130 pips. That's too tight. Too tight. Try that. Let's have a look. What did I say? It was about 60 odd pips. Just give me a second, guys. All above the round figure. Make it 160.10. Got to get on with this because it might be moving, costing us money, my friend. Get on with it, Roger. TP is a little bit far down there. Try there. 158.10. Probably get to 150. 8 if it gets to 158.10. Anyway, we'll put that in. No, so make it slightly wider TP. Take it down to there. What do you think, guys? It's not bad, eh? Not bad at all. The moment, I just want to warn you, not warn you, but remind you guys, it's a bit quiet for markets going into the weekend, so expect to be at least to Monday, Tuesday. You might get lucky. Just don't expect fireworks to be out by the next couple of hours. It might be a bit slowish. As long as it grinds in the right direction, you know, profit side, fair enough. It's like, I know you got a Ferrari, but if you're in a traffic jam, not much you can do about it. Well, Koenig going in. Who suggested Gerard? Probably Gerard's going in. Put it down there. People can look at it. Label will be sent out. GBP, JPY. Just remember what I don't tell them when you get a trade sent out is one of the trading room guys' ideas. I say it's all mine, unless it doesn't work out. And I've got Gerard down, I've got Find, I've got a few names down here, and I point in their direction. Clever, hey? Well, quite like it. Make the TP one, make it 78, not 7888, you know, I mean, it's round to the nearest figure. Don't worry, well, at 8, don't worry about the last figure, it's that point, don't worry about it. Okay, just see if the guys like it. If they don't, well, we like it. One second. Hopefully it comes up. Let's get this out of the way. Everything's in the way on the other screen. Where are we? Okay. Okay. To everyone there. I'm new in this. Okay, fair enough. You're new in it. That's up to you. As long as you know how to operate. If you're in the trading room, there's a couple of things you need to have behind you is the fact you've got to have an understanding how to operate the platform, and you've got to have gone to a couple of CFDs and a couple of Forex classes to get the basics. If you're in the trading room and you can't even place an order, you're the ultra beginner stage, and this might be a little bit heavier. No, keep coming with pleasure. You're more than welcome, but it's no point trading a trading room if you can't. It's like saying, here's the keys to the car. Oh, I can't drive. Well, you don't get the car if you can't drive it, you know, so you need to know how to operate the platform. Okay. Bit of experience, Gerard. Few things, fundamentals, bit of technical, bit of experience, yeah. Shut my mouth off on that because Paul Murphy's law kicking in. But I think out of the last 6 or 7 trades, or maybe more, I don't know, on the Brent, I think I've made one cock up, and then most of them been okay. So a bit of experience. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, another one before we get to that one for you. Well, it says short up there. So you know which way it's going. You know the figures. It's a stop loss above the entry. If that's all gobbledygook to you, learn your stuff, go to a couple of classes. Because you don't know whether it's a long or short by looking at the screen, then you definitely need to go to a couple of classes. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, this is trading, not a training room. Okay, NZDJPY. Oh, that's the next one. Oh, gold. Beg your pardon. I better put this down. I'm going to miss something. Just a second. Gold, NZDJPY, GB. Oh, done that. I think I missed something there. I do beg your pardon. Try and scroll down a bit. Hang on. AUD USD, and you want to sell it. Okay. Right, gold. Hope you've all got that. Well, hang on, get it down sad. There, put it back to. If you got it, there it is. Okay. Sorry, I can't hold Pecan. I can't hold up the whole thing. Help me to place a trade. There's other stuff to look at. That's where you've got the platform training. Yeah. Okay. But you're more than welcome. Okay. Right. So, gold. Okay, let's take out the TP. Unfortunately, I want to mention something here. A lot of guys out there who took that trade, hit the TP, automatically think that's high now, it must come off. So go and sell it. I know a lot of guys went in the sell. Didn't speak to me, this did it on their own back. That's up to them, do what they like. But I don't, it's a good idea. If you see it hits a pretty high, strong resistance, there's a likely profit-taking pullback. Been a strong up current. Do you know how long, like I mentioned about the indices just earlier on, we don't know how long the pullback bounce is going to be. It might only be 2 or 3. It came down about 1924 earlier on today, 23, 24, as you can see on the chart again. We don't know the extent of the bounce, so you can't work out a risk reward. It came to 24, it could have been 22, 20, I don't know. So you rather wait to get a decent pullback to get in again. It only came back a few dollars, so it didn't really give us an entry. Is it going to get to 1950? That's a good chance. Just bear that in mind. It's high now, so it must pull back. Let's sell it. That's not good enough. The trend is still pretty strong. More pullbacks to buy rather than join the. If you know what I mean by that, so that's clear. It's very important. Got to check something. It might be a trading thing. Okay, what's the level? I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to be patient while I give the level. I want one. GBP JPY. It's going to take a couple of minutes. Daily GBP JPY. I just put in at 159. That's just long and it's short. Should memorize it, eh? 160.1, 157.78. 57.78. Right. Where were we? Okay. 0.01. Sorry about it. Just please be patient or I'll do a typo. Because I've got to put all these up to 0.04 on there so you send it out. I don't know why. I'm just sure the guy can. If it's got the 0.01, they just extrapolate. Anyway, 96 at the moment, and 214, 0.02. $198 and 415. Okay, so that's done. Right, okay, it's done. Got it, fine, just check there, that's all sorted. Back here, that's fine. Get the DXY back up in front, I'll keep an eye on that. Okay, right, so gold, yeah. So where were we? Weekly, where's the next stop? I think 1950, maybe a little bit higher, 1955, 50-ish, something like that, round figure 950, I don't know. 1985, not 1984, 1985, and then 2000. Yeah, some upside. Right, so the question is, do you want to chase at these levels at the moment going into the weekend? Where to stop down? Yes, too fast to go to the daily. Below yesterday's low, 36, no. 4 hour.
Sorry, I got disconnected, Mr. Rogers.
No problem. $15, you might squeeze the 4 hour. I don't think so. I personally, I think we're going to miss out here if it's going to continue up, but I think it's a bit iffy to chase it now. I'd rather get a pullback and then chase it again. But I think the next stop's 1950 and then maybe 1980 to 2000, something like that. But maybe just instead of chasing it now, I think it might run a steam go over the weekend, pullback. But the upward trend is clearly in action. Does anyone want to chase it now? To me, that's not aggressive, ultra aggressive. I personally not in favor of it. Does anyone else want to be super aggressive and chase it? Yeah.
No, I was thinking of putting off on the buy limit at 1920, right for the pullback.
No, I'd be happy, far happy with that. Far happy with that. 1920. That would be my end. Leave it for now. My strong suggestion is you do, but up to you. You do what you like. I'm just giving my point of view. But 1920 pullback to take it up. If we can get a bit of a pullback, and yeah, but if we can't, we missed it. I'd rather miss it than try and grab it and it does pull back and you pull your trousers down by chasing these levels. Okay, and already I think over 15 minutes, it's even now starting to run out a bit of steam. Okay. So fine. So that's my take on gold. Someone who asked it, my take on gold. Right. Okay. The next one was NZDJPY. Looks familiar, this. Right. Clearly it's in the sell zone. My worry is Japanese yen is still not that weak. And if you want to buy it, you're going to be selling the yen. And if you want to sell it, I think the New Zealand, you're buying the yen clearly, but the New Zealand dollar isn't that weak. Let's now instead look for a range trade. Look at the daily, a range trade. 90-odd pip range trade. Is that enough? Because the sell zone, 10 days holding, it looks like some downside. Talking about 80, so you're looking about a 40 pip stop, 80, highly aggressive range trade. That's what I'm looking at, maybe a highly aggressive range trade. 40 pip 80. That will not be sent out to everybody. This is for the TR guys who know the score and can make their informed decision. A lot of guys are trading, to be honest, without making informed decisions. On a wing and a prayer rather than actual understanding why and where. So anyone want to do this aggressive trade? I'm looking at a short on this one. Whoever suggested it might be a little long. I'm not quite sure. Check up there. NZDJPY. Talal just said NZDJPY. You didn't prefer a long or a short. So, okay. You think it'll go up? Well, don't do the trade in Talani. Okay, NZJPY. Do you want a lot long or a short, Talani? But highly aggressive. I think I'd rather be shorting this at the moment than buying. Okay. KAUDJS, JAUD, JPY. We'll go to that in a minute. Well, you're doing all right. If you're waiting for the bull from the lower end of the range, that's not a problem. You're range trading. Maybe start getting a little bit nervous. And see any evidence the sellers come in, I'll give you a due. Yeah, but I think it might hold a little bit around there. We'll see. Okay, so we'll leave that. Leave it alone. That's highly aggressive. Okay. GBPNZD. Just write that down. We'll do it in order. Sell. Okay, we've done the AUD USD for sell. So you want to buy? Did you buy or sell? It was a sell. Just checking. Sure, yeah, sell. Selling, you're buying the dollar. That was a bit iffy at the moment. It's not sustaining upward movement. It's now attacking, come back and attacking 102 at the moment. What is the distance any if you look at a range? It has to attack this. It seems to be holding. I take your point. That's only 38 pips. Not happy. Sorry about it, Vuyo. Not happy. It might be right for 20 pips where you can put your stop, etc. Might bounce again. It's in the buy zone. Next attempt, it might take out to the upside. I'm not confident enough to buy it. I'm certainly not confident enough to sell it. I'm not so keen on this one. Okay, happy with that. Good enough. As you're happy with that. ADJPY looked at yesterday, and I was a bit of a chicken. I think some guys might have taken it. Didn't do too badly. I think some guys might have taken it down here somewhere. I think. Bottom line, if you did take it down there, you're doing all right. Now the thing is, it's gone up, right? And it's testing the resistance here. Okay, if you're buying it, if you're going short, it's pulling back to support because clearly it's getting to the sell area. And yeah, so is it going to break up to the above side or is it going to come off? That is the question. And my answer is I don't know. Straightforward. AUD, who asked for this one? Pete, on a buy. Okay. Sorry about that. I beg your pardon, Pete. You meant you're in already. I'm not looking for that. I'd be a bit nervous now. I think definitely move your stop loss because it might pay out, but it seems to be holding its resistance. They're pretty even, Stephen. The odds is not bad, but the Japanese are not either. Hence, you got a fair equilibrium on the seesaw, fairly evenly balanced, in other words. And yeah, is it going to break out? That was a fundy, so ignore that. That's purely a fundamental. So is it going to break out? That's the question. I can't say get out of it because it goes up. You're not going to be happy with me, but I definitely put a tight stop in, maybe 20 pips away. If you want to take it, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I want to make that decision for you. It's up to you. So at least a 20 pip stop in case you get some more, but be aware of it. Be wary of it. It should be a nice profit. Okay, I'll answer your question. Okay, fair enough, July. No problem. No problem. Each has got. That's what I say. Millions of people with different strategies, different variables, different money, short, medium, long term, different emotions, all sorts of variables. And that's what gives us the market noise. No problem there. In fact, we have to have somebody who disagrees. You wouldn't be able to get the position. If you buy, somebody's got to sell it. So someone automatically, obviously, is disagreeing with you. That comes to any buy or sell. Even if you buy or sell your house. Somebody thinks when you sell it, you're selling it too cheaply. And when you sell it, you think the guy is buying it too expensive. And that's how you work it out. Because that's how you get that disagreement. Otherwise, nobody buying. You would have the product buy or sell. Always remember that. Different opinions keep that market alive. But yeah, be aware of it here. But still a bit of momentum there. So maybe hold 20 pips stop. And if it starts pulling back, maybe take it. You might squeeze some more out. Be wary. Okay, AUDJPY. Okay, GBPNZD. Just a second. I'm just going to do something here quickly. The trade's been sent out, so I'm just putting the banner on. But it's been sent out to the guys. I think it's been sent out to everybody who's had interest, not just the VIP, but everybody, I think. The patient's just got to make sure there's not that. Okay, all right, sorted. Thank you for your patience. Okay. GBP CHF, that might be an idea, write that down. Actually, we're already in that one. If you're not in it, maybe we can look at it again. Roger, should the CAD not be gaining strength with a strong Brent? In theory, yeah. The problem with the CAD is the economy is incredibly aligned to America. So when America had a couple of issues, Canadian done as well. Okay, not a problem. Look at the at the moment. But has a couple of issues, sort of Canada has a couple of issues as well. So as you saw, the couple of CPIs that came out and had an effect on the dollar. It almost had a mirror effect, or not a mirror, a similar effect on the Canadian as well. And that's why the Canadian's a bit iffy because the dollar's a bit iffy at the moment. Okay. Buying a CAD JPY, we had one out a couple of times ago, and quite frankly got stopped out. That was the one baddie of the week. Might have another one a shot at it, but we'll have a look at it in a minute. Yeah, you're already in it, so I'm talking about somebody who's not in it. CAD JPY, and what was the other one looking at? CAD GBP CAD. Okay, look at the moment. Just write that down. So we'll stick this one at the moment. GBP NZD. Who want to ask that? Forgot now. Oh, to short it. Okay. I'll be honest, I prefer the NZD pound right up there. Let's look at the weekly. So I'm leaving aside a bit of indecision. That's not the problem. That's a whole week. Daily, what's the 4 I've got to say for itself? Where's a stop? It's a hell of a stop. I have to have a shorter term stop. That's my problem. I think we missed that trade. We should have maybe grabbed it just now. Why are we missing it? Just remember, it's only 2.5 hours old. This particular candle started at 8 o'clock. Stop, and then we're going to take it down here. It's not really good. Yeah, might squeeze a risk reward. A bit on the aggressive side, to be honest. But the momentum clearly down. Let's try the 1 hour. 15 minute. Clearly down. Here's an aggressive one. And look at that. The 4 hour. 1 hour, sorry. Yep, just taking that out. It's an aggressive trade on the 4 hour. Okay. Stop above here. That's too far. Sorry, 4 hours got to be. Highly aggressive because a pretty tight spot. Sure. What you got there? 19 something or other. 1905. That's good enough. Happy with that. Nine. You do it again? 05. Check. Get the math sorted himself now. 19105. 19105. You're looking for 1905 down here. You're looking down here somewhere. Okay, you want to take it down there with a wider stop. We can take it down there if you put the stop up here. So it's your idea. What we prefer? A very wide stop. We're talking $18 per micro stop loss. That's a bit on the hectic side, or a tighter one. Before we go any further, what do you think? I'll put it anyway. To this one, you can always fiddle around with it if you like. 1.910. That's not going to work either. So we don't have much choice. We've got to break through. There's 2, 3 obstacles on the way down here. So look at that. That'll definitely work. But remember, if you take it now, 1, 2, 3, you might get some profit taken there to go through. And look, to me, I hate to say it, my friend, I like your idea, brilliant, but just thinking about that shit amount of sales. And it might even get a bit of noise at the 1.92 mark. Might get the TPs might have been set there for a bounce. Okay, so I really agree with you with the trade. I'm just saying, get the figures right. I personally put me on that shit might have sold. You missed that thing. Highly aggressive means more risky than normal. Simple as that. This is, if I say it's risky, it's a bit of sin to say, because leverage trading is risky, it's speculative. It's not investment, it's speculative. Equities investing, but risky. Putting your money in a bank is not risky, but obviously returns commensurately low. So equity is investing, this is speculative. And so it's just by definition, you go into a derivative, which this is, automatically it's risky. Automatically, whatever it is risky. I'm saying highly aggressive means even more risky. Okay. I think some guys, anyone's experienced and wants to chase it now, I think they have enough experience to work out their own stop loss and TP on the risk calculator. I'm not sure I'm keen to put somebody who might be tempted on it. I think the ship might have sold. I think if they want to do it, they miss out on it. And everyone should have the risk calculator anywhere, know how to operate it. I think that's one we can leave the Rambos to do on their own. Okay. I'm a bit too nervous to put my name behind this one. I'll miss out, at least I wasn't on board. Sorry about that. Okay, what was the next one on the list? GBP-NZD, GBP-CHF. It's been giving us some bloody trouble. GBP-CHF. It's just going solid now, Rio. That's the hassle, because to go in now, you're getting a better price. So as a matter of fact, if you're not in, I like to sell. Just bear in mind, you might be stuck with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1.5 weeks going in a range of about just around about the 50 pip mark, which is tiny. 5 days, nearly 2 weeks, week and a half range, 7 days range, 50 pips. That is serious paint drying stuff. You get my point. Having said that's the top of the range, having said that you're not in it, having said that the pound we just talked about selling and the Swiss franc is still one of the stronger currencies. If you're not in to get in now, I have to say I would agree. I have to say it's not a bad trade. But just remember, you must have the middle name as patience. But I like that trade. How far is it down? So there, you can squeeze 50 pips and you're not going to be too unhappy with the result. Stop loss up here somewhere and take it back down here. Yeah, I have to be honest. If you're not in, if you are, hold on to hopefully get some profits. They're so bloody slow. If you're not in, I have to say I agree with you. Anybody not in who would like to do this, because I think it's a pretty damn good entry. And we just discussed the previous pound trade to short it. So yeah, I think it's a high probability this will come off, to be honest. Well, Mr. Wandili, I think it's not my strong point, so I can't get hold of you now on this. I think everyone needs patience, whether you like it or not. And sometimes you get it hectic. You can't keep up with it so quick. And other times you get the idea. But yeah, I have to be honest, if you're not in the trade, I think it's a high probability one to short it now. In fact, I can't guarantee it's a high probability. So for you, if you want to do it, yeah. So let's do it. If you haven't, if you already got it, clearly don't add to it. You see, even to put a tight stop there, only 40 pips away, it hasn't been there since over a month ago. That's too tight. So we'll make it a bit wider. I tell you what we'll do, we'll put it above the round figure. There we are. 1.1 410 there we are. It's only 60 pips away. And then we can try aiming that, might get a risk reward, play with 1.1228. Yeah, you can get a risk reward down there. I'll be honest, I have to say, I like it very much. Please, again, if you're in, sorry, mate, you're already in. Hope he comes back to get into your entry. If you're not in, I have to say it's a high probability. It might be slow, but slower win is better than a fast lose. Tortoise and the hare, Aesop's fables. Remember that. But I like it. I like so much. A lot of the guys don't have this, so I'm going to send it out to see what they like on this one. Do anybody else like that? Got it. Yes, a couple of people like it. Some just, I think this is good enough to send out. So I probably this one. We didn't send it out to the group before, so this one we can just remember it. In a second. If they do like it, it gives me a couple of minutes then again to, obviously do the business. Do you see that, Gerard? What Van Dilly said? Gerard said there, patience the name of the game. And one thing about this business, it's I see the one thing out there. Yes, I have. Good. Yeah, where was I? Yeah. One thing has been my toughest thing in trading, a lot of people, is unfortunately patience and discipline. Okay, we got that one. GBP, CHF, sell, 11342. 113, 1.1, 410, 1.1228. Right, just knock this off for the moment. I just want to go into the next one on the line, as Brady, CAD JPY. Some guys remember want to sell it. I advised against it. If you took it where you're stopped out. I'm a bit iffy on it. It's just failing to follow through. That was a funding. Ignore that was a funding. Came off, buyers came in. Already looks like some sellers are coming in. Already. Canada is more associated with the dollar. Never mind the oil. Associated with the dollar. It's that's more the issue in the oil and Brady and Company. Just bear that in mind. Okay. Dollar's a little bit iffy at the moment, so I think the Canadian is a bit. Japanese yen, maybe get some government intervention here to try and weaken it. At the moment, they haven't, and so I personally think if I would buy it, but I'd buy it down here, and I'm not keen to sell it, even though it looks like a bit of a range trade. Too shallow range trade anyway, so forget it. Yeah, leave it alone. Okay, the other one, that's my opinion. If you like it, I'll put up risk reward, but I'll leave it alone. GBP CAD, obviously on this buying the Canadian, clearly for short on that one, obviously. Well, the pound's a bit negative at the moment. I hear you. It's in the buy zone. I get that. Is it going to be maintained? I'm not sure. what's this tiny range. 50 pip range. Buyers came in. Look at this wick here forming. Wick here forming. I'll be honest, I'm a bit scared. I'm absolutely petrifiedly terrified. I'm not sure about this one. Well, if you're like, I'm not keen to CAD JPY. If anyone else is, I'll put up this rule if you like it on Brady's idea. I say I'm not keen. I'm an LIA guy on that one. If anyone wants to tell me, and I'll put it up with pleasure, obviously. But just bear in mind, it's your idea, not mine. Okay. And if it's George's idea and Bill takes it, well, so throw the custard pies at George, not me. This one I'm an LIA as well, I'm afraid. But I take your point. I think there could be some downside, but I'm just not confident at this stage. If it's in the sell zone, I'd be more confident. It's in the buy zone as well. I'm just not confident. Anyone disagree with me? Anyone confident of a sell on this one, or indeed a buy? Hello, John. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I hear that big time. The only reason, because of a lot of feedback here, and I quite like that last one, the Euro CH, Euro CH, yeah, we've done all that. Yeah, absolutely. That's the one we've got to level it. Yeah. What about you? Do you want to send this one? If you're going to, or we leave this one, do you want to send it? Okay, fair enough then. All right, 100%. Thanks for that. Good. Cheers, mate. Yeah, bye. Mansion a bit worried about a little bit of volatility, so not so Euro CHF out peak, but I think that's quite a good one. But we'll see. GBP CHF on one. The other one I think was sent out, serving and so yeah, so this won't be sent out to all the guys. The trading rooms are like, not this one, the other one. Sent out, okay. Small green candle on which a small green candle. That's a small green candle. Apropos which chart where? Going to be more precise on that. GBP CAD. Well, the small green candle there, no, because it came off, bounced up. Now I've got a small red candle. It's on the day. 4 hour sideways. 1 hour small green candle trying, but look, indecision. On the daily, there's no change of direction. That's nothing, yeah. That's confirmation. Change of direction, it breaks through the moving averages. If it's down here and it breaks through up here, it's moved in from the sell zone to the buy zone. That's the change of direction. One little candle like that, and even an indecision candle, not even an engulfing candle, hardly a change of direction. And look, it hasn't even maintained. All that tells the buyers and sellers are in equilibrium. Always think of a seesaw. You got a 100 kilo guy on one and a 100 kilo guy on the other. It's not going anywhere. Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right, let's move on. Euro AUD. Got it. Thanks. That's important. Okay. Euro AUD. Who came up with this one? Do we want to do with it? Mentioned somebody. Euro AUD. Where was it? Somebody mentioned it. Oh, you said please. What do you want to do with this, Camagella? Should I buy it or sell it? What do you want to do with this? You mentioned it. I mean, just mention it on its own. It doesn't make a heck of a lot of meaning. It's got to want to know what you're looking at, what you want to do. What have you got in mind with this particular one? What would you want to do with this, Gerard? Would you want to look at this? Ah, yes. That's one to ascertain. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Why do I agree with you? You're a CHF. We've already got that out. Didn't send it, but this one it's going up as well. It looks going up a bit more. No, we're looking at GBP CHF. Sorry, Euro CHF. I slide it down. Eh? I'm completely confused. It was a GBP CHF, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, Euro CHF. We got a trade out on that, haven't we? Already at we'll go trade out on that one. So we'll look at it again, sure. We'll go trade on that one. Your AUD, yeah. I'm looking to buy. We can come back here and bounce to buy somewhere around there. How far is that? 70. Take it up here somewhere. How far is that? 90. Maybe a 90 pips if we take back to this high here, and then maybe we can get in around about there. We'll have to be a tight stop unless we take it higher. Possibly upside, but the problem is even that high there. Oh, that's plenty. That's fine. Okay, we definitely get that one. Just wait till we get the bounce. Okay, 4 hour. So we get the bounce around about this level here weekly. Yeah, could do. 1 hour. Yeah, pull back. Right. So yeah, how far away is this area here? It's only 20 pips. Hey, there we are in business. 1.56. Look at this as a 1.56 pending order. Quite like to look at this. Come together, so it comes. We like to take it. They're not going to send any more trades out today. The office has made a decision on that. Going into Friday, we've got too many, shall we say, less knowledgeable clients out there who don't come to the PR, who don't understand a few things, so he's a bit nervous of that. That's fair enough. Yeah, but they got one sent out. Okay, so we get the light side advantage to trading on if you like it. So we do a pending 1.56 upsell like this. Stop loss. Where's the stop loss here? 155.20. That's fine. And the TP we can take up here. 1.5854. What the hell happened there? That'll do. Plenty of risk and reward. You can make it a bit tight with the TP if you want. Remember, you always modify it. It's up to you. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so pending order at the round figure. A bunch of bloody maggots. So pending order. 1.56. Changed it for you. Maybe want some notes in that. I don't know. All right, that's better. And then we can bring this down here. That works. Thought it looked funny. Yeah. That's the pending order. Quite like that. And it's closer, damn it, to this area here. Maybe a little bit below. It might pop its head below there. So it gets to 1.56. Write that down. I suggest you don't put a buy limit in because we want to wait for the bounce. There's no evidence of buyers coming in yet. So you might get a better price than that. So you can write that down. If it'll happen after 11 almost certainly, there's something to look at. If it comes down, it bounces off the blue line there on your chart, then you can take it a slightly better price than the round figure. And you can use that stop loss and TP. Okay. I can't determine. I take a viewpoint. Nobody can determine what the price is going to do. We take a viewpoint. If it comes down to, you put people, I call it support or resistance. So I wait for a bounce and then I'll take it. And if it jumps up, comes off, I've got my stop loss, I've got the correct position size, the correct volumes to protect myself. But there's no such thing as I know. I take a viewpoint. That's how I determine it. Shane, Mark, good to have you here. Okay, we've got a couple out. Don't know if you received one of them. It was sent out to everybody. I think by the company. The second one I posted them, so they can hang on till Monday. Oh, I thought it was quite a good trade. GBP CHF as a sell. Come back to it in a minute. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Take that down and see what happens later on. Are we happy with the look of it, guys? Shall I put it down for going into Monday? Do you like the look of it? Yeah, hold on to the GBP CHF, yeah. Okay, right. Where are we? You got JBP this morning, that's fine. I probably sent to you, that's at least I know it went out, good. Right, anyone like the look of this one? Shall I put it down for the pending? Or indeed, if you want to go to market, that's your choice. But I haven't seen many evidence yet of any buyers coming in. Little bit, but I don't know how that can be sustained. No, we're moving it. We'll come back. You want to leave it? Okay, well, I'll put it down, see how it goes. Okay. Euro AUD pending. Okay. PR. Camo. Yeah. It comes right. Get camo together the pack the back. Okay. Okay, so just grab that. I put it down, refer back to it. There we are. What was the next one on the list you want to look at? We've done that one. AUD Euro CHF. Yeah, I think it's possibly there's some downside here, but not that convinced. I prefer to just leave this one for the time being. Bit of more confirmation, maybe a break for the 200 before I look at this one. And I'm not sure I want to buy the euro against the Swiss franc at the moment. I think I'll just look at that. That'll definitely look again on Monday. You might, if you stopped out on this one, you should be stopped out on the profit. Okay, because that one we got at we got here in the trading room here a couple of days or so ago at 0.1. So you must have been stopped out in the profit then. Got to be careful to say that. If you probably everyone will go to a rubbish trade. You should have been stopped out of profit. If you went in any much below 1, you were incorrect. 1 was a trading room signal and clear went down. Okay, so start on a profit. You'd have mentioned that, or I know the guys are going to think what happened there, because that's still in the profit and still in there. Okay, Eurozar. I've mentioned this before. It's an exotic, higher deposit, higher margin. So you can't do it unless you've got about 3-4K in your account, and higher cost specification. Look at it, and it says there 19 pips. You remember that's a lot. So normally about a couple of pips cost on the majors, you know, talking 19 pips there. So I often discourage it. And if they do want to do the ZAR, I usually say rather look at the dollar ZAR, slightly more volumes there. So bear that in mind. There won't be sent out for reasons I just gave. If a trading room guy likes it, they're not a beginner, they trade before, they're aware of the limitations of it and the higher margins. But they do it a lot and they're happy with it, fair enough. Certainly with buying the ZAR at the moment. It's right on the high, bit of indecision. I wouldn't buy it anyway, cost or no cost. But just bear that in mind, Rio. If you want to play with it's up to you. Okay. Now that's all on that one, that Euro CHF we mentioned. Just want to go back to the dollar ZAR. Some guys took it. I think maybe 1, maybe 2, I don't know. But I did all right. We got about 1698 or something, so it's doing okay. Move your stop to entry if you did it. Otherwise, forget about it. Okay, S&P. Some guys did. I mentioned that yesterday. Move your stop to entry, which is about 3980 or something, or just below that. So you can't lose in the trade if something drastic goes wrong. You just protect yourself and let it run. Don't play around with it now. Leave it. You mentioned Brent just now. Let's go back to it. Yeah, clearly, I don't know where you stop it. Clearly, I thought you mentioned you already modified it. Yeah, you might get TP. It's doing okay. It's about $2.50 in profit. I think you move it to 86. Get stopped out. You made a nice profit. There you are. If it gets to TP, you're kicked out automatically going into the weekend. So, Mark or anybody else in Brent, I think you just shove it or shift it to 86 on the nail. There you are. Hope all clear. Happy? Good. Got that. That's your lost your internet. Got it. Okay. So at least you have a nice profit, whatever happens there. This is really seems to be very sideways. Look at 15, look at the hour. Very sideways, eh? Comes off, comes up, very sideways. Bits in prop. We got it at 67, if I remember rightly. So I've got my figures right. Yeah, 767. So it's still in profit. Bit boring, but most of the movements today are a bit on the quiet side going to the weekend. At least it's 30 pips up. I think just let that thing run into the weekend. Okay. See how it goes. Happy. Yeah, we've got quite a few trades out before we close up. Apple, I think it's around about even Stevens at the moment. We've got the figures now, all this paperwork here. Where would Apple sell? Around about the 136 mark, something like that. So about even Stevens, slightly in profit. Some Amazon's doing okay. Amazon's about $3 up per share, plus minus depending when you entered, not too bad. Do 15 minutes. Microsoft, they didn't. I don't know why they didn't send out. They didn't anyway. They said it was too many sent out. Don't want to confuse people, I suppose. So that's one they didn't. Pity. But the trading again, guys, have the advantage because the Microsoft went beautifully. Went down to even learn the close. Where is it now? Here. Went down about 231 at one stage, I think. So a lot of guys either took the profit, certainly modified the stop. Can't do anything now. You've got to wait till 4:30. Remember, don't modify now. You can't. But that was a beaut. Got it at 242. Some a little bit low. Doesn't matter where you got in. You did well on that one. It's a nice one. MTA, bit disappointing actually. It came off nicely about 133. I think we got around 36-ish, and a little bit disappointing on that one. Where is the figure? Ah, here they all are. Yeah, 136. It was doing okay, and it decided to pop up for some reason. But yeah, I think hold on. Well, obviously hold on. Might come right this afternoon. Okay, GS doing okay. We got a bit disappointing now. Going about 250, 353. Got the 348 or so. Did pretty well. That seems that's a 15-minute. Never mind that. Then it popped. It's still a bit indecision, etc. Before the close. So hold on. You're in a bit of a profit. Hopefully that will continue. So not too bad, eh? Sounds okay. And Google's a bit disappointing. It's the only one's a bit disappointing. I think the others are fine. It's about $2 up. We got it at 90. We can get it on that one. Google. 91.05. It's $2 up. Pity, but it's the only one. Remember, you know, if you get one wrong out of 5, you'll be smiling all the way to the bank manager. But it's $2 up. We're still in it. Might come out later on. Okay. And looks like a few sellers came in near the close as well. So see how the NAS does. Well, we won't. You will, because we don't have a trading this afternoon. See how that does, and that might come right if you're in those. Forward stop. Oh yeah, forward stop. We'll see Van Marie on that one. Getting a little bit nervous when it went up. It's coming right. Went even further down, touched nearly 12 at one stage, popped up a little bit, but still nice in profit. So hopefully that will continue its down momentum, depending on what the NAS does. Well, and the S&P in this case, because it's not a NAS share. Okay, so yeah, so they're all looking pretty good, with the one exception, which is not exactly a trade smash as Google, and I still feel that's a good chance of coming right. Okay, I hope we're all clear on that one going into the close of the weekend of the trading session. Hope you're all happy. We've got a couple of TR ideas out, see how they work out. Let's just quickly check GBP-CH, GBP-JPY, what the trades we just took, hey? GBP-JPY, wasn't it? Yeah. GBP-JPY, this was a sell at 115 in the year. This was sell, wasn't it? Yeah, not pretty at the moment, but panic not. Well, yeah, it's up a bit volatile. Just see how that goes. GBP CHF. I wonder where that sudden jump came from. Yeah, it's CHF just a couple of bits above, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, all right. Okay, guys. Yeah, otherwise not too bad. We've had a pretty good week. I think the feedback I'm getting from the trading guys, traders, I mean, hasn't been a bad week. Hope we can continue going into next week. Keep an eye on your fundamentals. Make sure you don't jump in just before our funding comes out. I think some retail sales or something come out there on. I think it's a bit quiet later on. There are a couple, but I don't know, train smash jobs. So just check it before you jump in. Keep an eye on your DXY as normal, and let's progress into next week and over another one. And have a nice weekend. I'm going to see, might seem a bit mushy to you guys. I'm going tomorrow to see ABBA at Monte Cassino. Well, ABBA, they retired, but I mean, you know, ABBA show. So see how that goes.
Anne-Marie here, Roger. Have a nice week. Unfortunately, I can't type a message at this stage. I don't know why. But bye, everybody. Nice session. Bye.
Thank you very much. Well, it's nice to hear a voice as well instead of messages. You were touching human beings instead of just messages. That's lovely. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Okay, see how it goes, and yeah, catch you next week and see if we can get another nice week. I think it's been pretty good so far. Okay, let's see it continue. Cheers, guys. Good, thanks, and good to hear that, Wendy. That's what I want you to do. Get